Well, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Farnborough Day 2. It's Tuesday. It is just coming up to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 1400 hours here at Farnborough. And temperature's just peaking around about 100 degrees right now. Looks like the runway's holding out. I'm going to do as much of my stuff as I possibly can before the fellas up in the commentary booth start their sales pitch. This is the so there's a number of family flight AIB jets in the test aircraft, test beds. This particular one being used for cabin space projects that we just saw with the guys at ITA Airways, which we need to get that in our heads, don't we? Not ITA. All new flag carrier for Italy. Looking very smart Recaro seats inside that 359, and very interesting to hear from Rodriguez. I think it was it Rodriguez who told us that ITA have confirmed an all Airbus fleet now, replacing all of their current aircraft with brand new equipment. A350-900, A330-900, A220s as well. So going all out, and I dare say probably some A321s and so on and so forth, 320s, whatever it might be, I'm not sure, but very much committed to the Airbus program is ITA. We look across the field there to Embraer and their E2 jet, which is that is the E190 of the next generation Embraer jets. The 195 is over there right now. We're going to be looking around that later on today, and of course they've got the freighter program with that 190 as well, 195, sorry, already in the system. And of course this E190, along with their 195, very much a competitor towards both the A220 and also this aircraft is here, which is the 737-10, complete with LEAP engines. This is one of Boeing's test beds as well. Just placed an order, I believe, yesterday, received an order with Delta for multiple 737 Maxes. How many was it? Congratulations to them. 60 or 80, something like that. Very impressive. And I'm guessing Boeing, you know, you don't want to come all the way to the UK and have an empty order book. I'm happy for them. Good to see that. That's going to mean a lot to Boeing. Delta a big Boeing and Airbus fleet carrier. Of course, the A339, which is the A330neo, which is the current, the new engine option compared to the older style A330, which is still a very popular airplane, don't get me wrong, still used for freight. 100 aircraft, is it? Well, 100 MAX 10s for Delta with an option for a further 30 aircraft. So now I think yesterday it was the 777 that went up first. By the looks of things here, they're lining the 350 up for full length departure, and then you'll see the 779 being towed out to its position, unless they're going to do the opposite, but they wouldn't fire up the one in front of the other, that's for sure. Just be spraying that thing with debris and dust and all sorts of bits and bobs. We saw yesterday the power of those GE9X engines. Here comes the 779 now. Oh, interesting. We'll have to go and check that out. And what is that radical design change with the boom platform? Oh. Yeah. If this is a first look for anybody who's just seen pictures or videos of the Boeing 777-900, look at this, folks. Big extendable folding wingtips. I think the last time that happened was with a Corsair, wasn't it? World War II fighter plane on the carriers. Folding wingtips. I think it's about 12 feet. I believe it's hydraulically operated. Comes down pretty quick. I'm imagining that the signal will be on the panel. The same panel as where the forward and aft cargo doors are as well, because it's kind of got the same sort of mechanism, locking pins and so on and so forth. Now, what are they doing here? Are they going to? Yeah, she is going to fly first, I think, unless they're going to push her back. They might push her back. They won't be firing her up with that 359 behind it. Look at the engine size, man. I think Boeing, what they've basically done is they've gone, well, look, this is our last hurrah, isn't it, in terms of the big super twins. Let's make it that big and impressive that we don't have to make any more super twins. Of course, the freighter variant is still yet to be. It's being ordered already. The freighter variant of this, which is equivalent of the 777-200, but it is under the guise of the 778, which is rattling things going on. No, the 350 has been unhitched, so now she's going to be pushed back. There we go. Oh, say about that. Well, kind of, yeah. It's like a giant showroom, isn't it? Error while loading. Tap to retry. That's going to be on my tombstone, isn't it? Well, it is, isn't it? You know. How many times have I turned the Wi-Fi off on this flipping phone and it reboots itself even though I turn it off? Does it? You see the hinges quite clearly. 4 massive live bolts that will lock those things down. All carbon wing as well, folks. It's a brand new wing that Boeing have developed. Being built in a new wing facility right next to the Seattle plant. Everything's just ginormous in it. 300 millimeters. That's 0.3 of a meter. Don't know how long that is in inches, but it's long enough for the fan blade width, or circumference, should I say, outer diameter. In total 150 mil either side. Each blade is 150 mil longer than the GE 115B, 90-115B. About 110,000 pounds of thrust on those engines, less than the 115B, the 115 pound. But I'm guessing that the efficiency is probably high percentages more on these big GE9X engines, purely down to those big fan blades. Efficiency is the name of the game, isn't it? A couple of new members. Hertfordshire 247 is a returning member with a star, and Gary Lloyd, welcome Gary, good to see everybody. The single cruiser, yeah, Battle of Britain fly past. We hear that the Spitfire is not going to be flying, folks, understandably so. She's an old aeroplane, and she is probably would be prone to some kind of overheating issues. You wouldn't want to take the chance with an old girl like that, really, would you? The sleek A350. So flying displays that we're going to see, folks, it is going to be relatively short. One that I did see coming in earlier on is that what is that? Is that Gulfstream, Raytheon? What? It's not. Looks like it's military, I think. Have we got a reg on it? GP, do you want to check the reg on that? Yeah, might be a private jet who's just painted it in that metallic finish. I don't know. It looks like this 350 is ready to go. She's got her anti-collisions on. Yeah, of course it is. So the main. So is it a oh, Dylan McTurk, the Spitfire flew over my house this morning, Scotland bound at 7,000 feet. Okay, maybe may have been positioning. I don't know whether it was up there for early doors because of the temperature. I don't know. Good afternoon, Heather Henderson, Ewan Weech, Ben Brown, San Sharm, HGC, Trevor Russell, Helen, Sue Cruz. Yeah, it looks like everybody was really happy with the ETA 350 walkthrough. Thank you everybody for that. Ian in Aberdeen, the Imperial March music would have been wonderful. These aircraft coming out to play. Oh, I don't know about that. Dave Allberg, Whizzer Football. To me it looks 787-ish with the 777, the 7X7779. Is he possibly talking about the winglets there and bits and pieces? David E. All the tankers have been positioned to Prestwick for the heat wave. No surprises there. David E. Thank you. Martin Pickard. We've had Eurofighters overhead all morning in North Devon. Ewan Weech, ETA walkthrough was excellent. Paul Lutas upgraded membership to first class. Thank you, Paul. Very warm welcome to everybody joining us from Farnborough. Looks like the engines are the engines running on that 350? I think they are, you know. Or they've just fired them up. I definitely hear engines active. Activate. Thank you, Reb. Liz Matthewman not in the shade, but I do have the right headgear. That's the most important thing. And water. Good point. Water. 3,000 people already watching. Good day, That's funny, mate. Mr. Kane just fired them up. Yeah, they do need to bring them up to temperature. Yeah. Keith Cornell, the grey executive jet is November 7, Juliet Papa. November 7, Juliet Papa. Anybody who wants to look that up on Google, just Google that and it'll bring up the answer. Margaret Burnick, how is the runway holding up in the heat? Well, I haven't seen any inspections going on at this point in time, but John Walton, Next Generation. Deacon the Third. Do you want me to do a quick pan, Chili, just to keep? No. Well, just to so that it doesn't suddenly, you know, confuse it when we catch it going out. I'm going to do a quick pan check, Chili. You ready? You ready? No.
Just gotta go. We got ports or not?
Interesting to know what one. Matt Bradbury, Pacific Sky Aviation and Brazilian Air Force, both on radar and looking funky, coming from Matt Bradbury. Is that over in the static area, on the chance? I don't know if we have, mate. I don't know if we have. All right. Stuart Watson, the occasional video glitch, but pretty stable. Well, that's just the way it is, isn't it? That's the way of the world. Fort Paw. Is that where the cats? Is that... Here we go. Oh no, hold on. That's bleeding me.
Your Majesty, Royal Highnesses, Excellencies, Ministers, my Lords, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Farnborough International.
What about the poor people? I don't think there's any lords, ladies and excellencies here, mate. I think it's just people just lined up against the fence. Here we go. Big crowds here at Farnborough. Oh, please, no, man. Oh, please. No, man, no. I was only joking when I said the final countdown. Mark Asher and the man who cuts the grass. Folks, we have it official from the ground team that apparently they have renamed the red tugs Phil and Grant. It's official. Big shout out to all the ground crews here. It just goes to show they do watch, and they're working in these extreme conditions, so big round of applause for them, for sure. And there's a lot of them, guys and girls.
In just about 5 or 6 minutes, we'll be starting the display proper with the Airbus, the magnificent Airbus A350, which is already lined up on the runway. Following him, we have the Embraer from Brazil, the 190, that's the E2. That's around about 2:30. Then the big Boeings on the far side of the airfield here, the Boeing 777X, taking us through to about 10 to 3. Staying with Boeing with the Boeing 737-10, taking us through the hour of 3 o'clock. Then to the Royal Air Force with the B8 having a fly past. Yesterday was right to left, so I'm guessing it'll be the same today, but who knows. Then from the Royal Air Force, an F35 coming in, we believe to come in and do a hover land. It depends very much on the temperature, not because of the aircraft, but because we will melt the tarmac anymore. Take note of Luton Airport. Then we have a couple of helicopter arrival departures. And to Turkey, the attack helicopter at 25 past 3. Staying with Turkey with Airbus at around about 20 to 4. And that will complete this very hot Farnborough International Air Display.
Really, the outguys. See these four now. Oh, no, the attack's pretty impressive. Jeffrey Phillips, they played that yesterday, and they're playing it today, and I can assure you that they will play it tomorrow, and on Thursday, and on Friday as well. I have been up there, and I did ask them if we could get a commentary-free departure. But the reason why they said that they cannot do that is because they have to, they're contracted to be talking about the aircraft. My argument, of course, is that you don't need to be telling everyone on the front line about that, because obviously they're all up in the tents signing the contracts now. I think they're fully aware of the flying characteristics and capabilities of the aircraft without needing to get a commentary on it, or at least a departure commentary, should I say. Just no PA, no sound, just the sound of the aircraft spooling up. because that's what we want to see, and I'm guessing that that's what the majority of these executives from different operators will want to see and hear as well, rather than standing underneath a PA with somebody shouting in your ear.
And here it comes, isn't it absolutely lovely? Look at this aeroplane coming past you. I know you can't hear the engines, but you can hear my voice.
Anyway, good luck to him. Last time I do an Airshow, that's for sure. Chili's piano music is much better. What's that, Chili? Is that the holding screen, is it? Sandra Moffat sounds like a funeral might be passing Farnborough. And here they come, the coffin display team. You and Weech, nothing at the moment on getting inside the Gulf Streets. We're going to do that tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be a problem, to be perfectly honest with you.
And if you gaze to the right, sitting out on the runway, just about to depart, this is from Airbus, the A350 Dutch 900. Shortly start the takeoff run. Clear to go, spot on time. Powered by Rolls-Royce Aeroplane Limited. Airbus always put on a fantastic display here at Farnborough, and this is no exception. A steep climb out, not the sort of thing you have with your punters down the back end. Climbing straight into a steep climb in terms of lifting gear up. This is the second test aircraft, known by Martin Ridley, joining this morning at briefing. Over 940 of the A350 family order aircraft have been ordered. 52 customers, and that was taken at the end of last month. And Airbus will have some announcements shortly. By the end of June this year, Airbus have delivered a total of over 480 350s, 900 routes around the world. She comes around in front of the magnificent aeroplane. It looks like it's graceful wing.
And British built, mate, British built. Don't forget that.
84,000 pounds of thrust of max takeoff power from those Rolls-Royce Trent engines. But they're quiet, as you're going to hear as it comes past. So much part of the early generation of big aeroplanes. There is a longer fuselage version, the Dash 1000, seats around about 375 passengers. Mind you, that depends on what the airline particularly wants in that configuration. Takes you around about 1,000 static miles. -900, around about 330 passengers. It's a comfortable aircraft. Something like 70% of the airframe is made of advanced materials, combining composites, something like 53% titanium and modern aluminium alloys. And that really cuts down on corrosion, makes it easier for maintenance, and it's lighter. Neatly inside the display here at Farnborough, which is a tricky area. Nowadays we've got very limited airspace around here. We've got the departure on Heathrow and Gatwick, Penwith, owned by Airbus. They've also got a dedicated freighter version, a large main deck cargo door, the fuselage length has been increased. 109 metric tons of payload capability. 350-1000, this of course is the -900. The 1000 selected by Qantas for its Project Sunrise, which is linking it with the very long commercial routes. By that I mean Sydney and Melbourne, which is not that far apart, but no, from Sydney and Melbourne to destinations such as London and New York, non-stop for the first time ever as she comes back, slowing down, not like a high alpha pass, like the fighter jets, but coming majestically past. Airbus A350-900. With Airbus, the commonality between the whole range of Airbus, SIDs or Airbus I suppose. Makes it easier to train crew from one to the other, version of training. Lines up. Pitching up. Shortly pulled downwind to land. They wouldn't do that with hunters on board. Gear coming down. The call just going out to air traffic, next procedure coming round to land. Now none of the guys today are going to be doing short field landings. We've asked them not to use max auto brake. The reason for that is we want to keep the runway in good order, unlike a couple of airfields around the country that have suffered already. So we're not doing maximum braking, so they will be going down to far end of the runway, certainly with 350, and then turning around down to Lapham's plane, which is down to your left, and she comes around over the Black Shears, which is to your right. Well, there's only one Black Shears left, the other one fell down, it's too rusty. Is now glorious sight over the old balloon sheds here at Farnborough, and over the museum at the end of the runway, which is well worth a visit, the Fast Museum at the end of the runway. That is well worth a visit.
Think fish eagle, folks. Think fish eagle when this thing touches down.
Around 8 years ago. Bit of a crosswind to deal with, crosswind from the left. And all the dust goes away from us, which we approve of.
Flaring.
Everything looks like, from the side right, certainly like a new modern aircraft will do that. With a 50-cent aircraft made of composites. Now we can through. So he's going to go and turn around down the far end of the runway. I know on the batting order...
Did you hold your breath through the whole thing, Jilly?
The Eagles to fly past at the end of the show. They are holding...
Yeah, don't say anything just yet. Let's wait till the end of the 777.
Okay, well, I've crossed out already. Well, they're not flying past whatever colour they are because they're stuck on the ground down at Boston with heavy thunderstorms.
I'm happy.
Absolutely. That would have been some of the Blue Eagles, that would have been quite something, wouldn't it? So the 352 backtrack, one from Brazil, embryo 190, two lurching around somewhere.
Watch this for a fast taxi, folks.
Twice in, over by the old air traffic control in your right hand corner. That's rather nice. It's better to have something like the 350. The same with the 777 to be able to backtrack the runway, so all the way down to the display line and have a closer, slower look at these magnificent airliners.
Airspace Explorer. It's Carl the astronomer's plane, isn't it? That's what he called it anyway.
For anybody who's around the side of the lane, yes, it's good camera crew around here. The big street certainly got that available. So the Embraer beginning to taxi out.
Beautiful, man. Thank you, Airbus. Another fantastic display. If you've joined us in Toulouse, folks, you won't get quite the same manoeuvres, but you will get to see this aircraft along with other AIB family flight jets with Airbus, as well as which will be going out on tests, testing all sorts of different componentry and high altitude tests and so on and so forth. Flight training as well. But as well as that, you get to see new aircraft that have been that are just soon about to be delivered. Maybe anything from its initial, its first taxi checks. Rejected takeoff checks, everything from literally its first flight all the way through to the delivery flight of these A350s and 339s as well, 320 Neos. So you get to see them in their raw form without any livery on them, just tail livery. Looks fantastic. Okay, here we go. Jenny, you ready? Again.
When they want to get their aircraft ready. So we will have some natural gas.
E2 190 E2. The Tech Shark.
Quite a lot of ballet to be done by the ground crew, which would be magnificent in validation week.
Look at those big engines, folks. Pratt & Whitney PWs that we saw earlier yesterday. Got a good close look up at the fan blades on these things.
Staying cool, of course, is to stick your hand if you can in cold water, just leave them there for a couple of minutes. That will cool down your core temperature. Quite an easy way of doing it. Smash a bit of water on yourself.
Why don't you stick it
But also, do
5 minutes.
Anyway, rolling now. This is the Embraer 190 E3 from Brazil. First member of the E-Jet E2 family. That will take off with a sharp G.
manufacturers got ideas about that, designing already, I know that. Here we come, left to right. 192.
I'll tell you what we're going to have in 20 to 30 years time from now, mate. Nothing.
Embedded technology, intelligent sensory systems, monitor and relay information at every stage of the flight, downloading it.
Forget about them, man. Forget about them.
Not even the reduction in fuel that we talked about, the emissions reduction, but also the engineering time on the ground, the turnaround time has also been reduced. The heavy maintenance has been reduced, much more efficient. All of that means the more the aircraft will be in the air, earn their money, and being efficient is better. Pulling up. The Embraer positions to come into the land. The 777X engine is running from the north side. We have to borrow airspace from the departures to London Heathrow. That's to be done for any individual aircraft that wants to come out. We have about 3 different heights that we can use. We have to liaise with the departure controller from Heathrow, which of course they can pick it back any time they want. There's a great liaison between that, Heathrow and Farnborough Airport, working quite complex airspace we've got around here. Of course, Blackbridge is only 3.8 miles north of here, and they're operating up to 1,400 feet, I think, going north and south, so we have to deal with that. We're going up the F3 northbound. Not that far, unless you're stuck in the traffic. A lot of business has been done in the last 2 days here at Farnborough. A lot of our government ministers have been here visiting. Lots of announcements, trade announcements, collaborations, which is really what Farnborough's about. It's a trade show, and my goodness, is there trade being done. Here comes the Embraer.
tragedy. Well, we're going to hold our breath again. Okay, watch these wingtips, folks. I'd like everybody to hold their breath, please, for this display. I missed it. Blimey. That is just so typical, isn't it? That is just so typical. Anyway, I've seen him go back up again. Dear. It's such a quick action as well when they bring those wingtips down. It's not like a slow action like flaps and slaps.
Now from BOEING out onto the runway. The 777. This is the
16 fan blades, man.
Now, if you saw it in the park, you would see the wingtips are folded up. Now the wingtips will be put out to the flight position, which is incredibly useful. And what we do is we're going to leave the wingtips fully out even after landing, because normally they automatically fold up. They're going to leave them out so that when you taxi back down to this end of the runway, the right end of the runway, that's when you manually put up the wingtips. But normally they would be folded up automatically after landing. Main reason for that is taxiing around near a house below the lamppost, which is not a good idea. Here comes the 777. Part of the 777X family, dash 8, dash 9, depends on what you want. This includes a lot of advanced technologies for the current 777 and of course the new technologies from the 787 Dreamliner that combine the two to keep enhancing and improving the group of aircraft. Long, graceful wings. Fourth generation carbon composite wings, 72-metre span, optimised for reduced fuel use. And much wider than the current 777s. This one is the #1 test aircraft. The first one to fly back in January last year. And so far to date, Boeing has flown more than 800 hours of flight tests. Sorry, 800 flights. 2,300 hours of flight test program. That fleet of test aircraft, 4 flight test aircraft. We went through all the rigors that you can imagine that the man has to go and very hot, very cold weather operations, heavy rain, thunderstorms, until they got down the west country. You can see that. The 777X family, so that means the dash 9, dash 8, the freighter, over 340 orders so far from 8 customers all around the world are already in the books. The customers have already been ordering all Nippon Airways, British Airways, Farnborough, Cathay Pacific, Emirates, Etihad, Lufthansa, Qatar, Singapore Airlines. If you look closely, you'll see the tails of those airlines or logos along the side of the 777. You'll see that when it comes into line. Now, British Airways are getting these 2 lanes of the Navigo currently on the 777. Huge images. If you have a look at that when you're on the ground and you see someone standing next to the camera, you get an idea of the huge size of the lagoon. Very quickly each other.
Maiden flight of the 777X took place in Painfield, that's over on the west coast, over at Everett, west coast of the United States, in January 2 years ago. And that maiden flight lasted just shy of 4 hours. Into the BOEING field just up the road in Seattle, slightly short from Painfield.
He's going to land this end, isn't he?
So he's now positioned to land 06, i.e. left to right. The reason for that is it just cuts down the time of moving him around on the ground, because you just go across runway, put the tug on him, and then get him back into his parking bay subway. The 737 waiting to run out on the runway, his turn. Now watch the wing tips. He starts holding them when he gets to the midfield. Normally they'd automatically fold so the screw don't come without protecting it.
Wow, that's a short circuit landing, man.
Going on the ground. Certainly in parking route you'll be able to see the sides of those engines. It's very difficult to see how really big they are while the aircraft are far away from you. When the crew sort of stand by, I think you can get a good comparison. Holding out for the wing tip. Increase the span of the wing by 20 feet. Got a complex with very strong hinges mechanism to do it. And therefore that's a little bit of weight and complexity to it all. But it must be worth it for the economy of the quality, because the wing tip holding up. Indeed. Very good. Thank you, Mike. I'll be seeing you later.
Sound like you just done 10 laps around the block, Julie. Oh my goodness me, it is. People only knew. I think they do, I think a lot of them do.
Requirement, the code E of airport requirement. No, I didn't know that until it was in front of me.
Last opportunity to catch this tomorrow, folks. I don't know if I think they're going back, taking this back to Everett tomorrow, or Painfield, sorry. whether they're going to display her and go, or whether they're going to just go, we don't know yet. I might try something a little bit different for tomorrow's departure. However, if I'm down on the ground, then I am sort of like at the mercy of heads and shoulders and hats and hands and cameras and all that kind of thing in front of me, and I don't want to sort of like, you know, jeopardize this wonderful position that we've got here. I understand from what Jilly's telling me that we had a relatively glitch-free flying display there from the Boeing 777-9.
Just waiting till 777 clears, because what you don't really want is the next aircraft, 73.
Oh, the landing's got to be a Bosch, isn't it?
Because there's still an awful lot of thrust, even at naval power, that goes a long way behind the part stationary aircraft. And of course, you'll be taking off across the left, you pass the jet back to the 777 to the right.
Ty Wiggins, wingtips made to fold up to accommodate hangars. Very good point that, actually, Ty. To be honest with you, I think you'll find that the wing the dimensions will still allow it to sit in the majority of stands. But very good point that. Of course, I don't want to have to go rebuilding hangars or chopping great big segments out in order to. That's a very good point there. Thank you, Ty. I like that idea. That makes perfect sense. Not so much taxiing of the aircraft or manoeuvring it on the taxiways, or even accommodation at stands. Obviously, it makes a big improvement and makes it more accommodating. But of course, the most important thing is the maintenance of these things. As it stands at the moment, they needed to. Okay, 737.
737 starting his takeoff run. This is the 737 MAX. About 10. And around spirited display. Interesting wingtips. We'll talk about those later. I can say that Boeing announced yesterday another order for the 777 MAX. 100 Boeing 777 MAX 10s ordered by Delta Airlines. It's the Atlanta-based airline. They've also taken options to purchase an additional 30 of these jets, with delivery starting around about 3 years' time. So that's great news from Boeing. Now Boeing has sold MAX to all the major US carriers, and others being American Airlines, Southwest Airlines, United Airlines. The engines are the CFM-B1B powered engines, and they Delta expects to use those engines for their aircraft on deliveries when they start getting those. That's going to be about 8 years' time when they start getting deliveries. It takes time to build them, you know. The first 737 first flew in April 1957. That's a very good year in my book. This is 65th anniversary. This airframe, one of 3 dedicated flight test aircraft, maximum seating 230 passengers. This is the largest member of the 737 MAX aircraft. Again, going for fuel efficiency, better seats per mile, economy. It's got LED lighting, a bit like the old 787 part just left of the Dreamliner. When that came out a couple of years ago, that's got the LED lighting. Change the mood lighting as you wish. Have a psychedelic party if you really need to how to control it. But that's obviously moved into the next generation of the Boeing aircraft. And it's certainly this, the MAX aircraft. Cruises at about 78% speed of sound.
CFM engines. Now the flight controls are conventional and powered with the central spoiler system. Honeywell Aerospace has the display suite. Head-up displays are also available to use. Very much like the 777 and the 787, they also combine, all come from the same stable really, to see how they develop. First saw the 737 MAX here in Farnborough, the Airshow in 2016. Yes, 2016. The debut for the aircraft. Sporty aircraft. See those arrowhead winglets when it comes into land very shortly. These advanced technology winglets include a second blade canted downwards, something like 60 degrees. Well, not like 60 degrees, it is 60 degrees down to the main winglet. And that obviously reduces drag. All sorts of efficiencies are done. Now anyone studying their ATL can tell us all about the wing structures and the winglets and killing drag to make efficiency. You can see more of a crosswind now as developed. We expect the crosswind to pick up through the day. So with the 73 now going around to the north side, the A350 pushed back into his route. The 777 also being pushed back at the same time. Two magnificent airlines, a big airline on the other side of time, another magnificent, smaller new jet airline actually back out down to the north part of Farnborough. So while they're doing that, we're keeping a wary eye out, I hope. Otherwise, mark up to look out the window for the fly past from the Royal Air Force of the P8. And
HGC VC10 next. Oh, wouldn't that just be a thing to see, man? Or the Vulcan. You remember the Vulcan comes screaming down the crowd line. The big howl as it powered up left. Plumes of smoke. Oh my God. It's only something that we can dream about now. Memories for so many of us to remember the Vulcan howl. What a display. Back in the days they'd have the A380 here, wouldn't they? They'd have multiple air displays. Poseidon doing a fly past, I believe, folks. Maritime reconnaissance aircraft based on the 737 platform. Look at the wingtips on this thing when it flies past. Big, long, raked wingtip. obviously developed exclusively for this military or maritime variant of the 737. Got one on static display up the other end. I think it's a US Navy aircraft.
So 7 variants of 737.
Like the P8 we're going to see. By January this year, Boeing
Oh, really?
received orders of over 14,500 orders for all the variants of 737, very, very successful aircraft. And it was fun to fly. Spent a couple of summers rocking around the Greek islands. doing charter flying on
I think I
737.
should get one, Jilly, shouldn't I? Mind you be freezing cold by the time I get it. Don't need it anymore. John, some stickers. Hold on. You'll need a heater one tomorrow though, won't I, Jilly? I'll need a heater variant. Yeah.
Eagle-eyed fighter pilot eyes in the commentary position and managed to see the side pointing the north of us.
Oh, is that nice? Say a bit, Deb. Oh. Oh. I don't know how the
They've just gone past
how the Cowboys
drifting in
back in the day.
Wide of Frimley Green Hospital from the flypast. This single flypast.
Heat, tiny little bottle of, you know,
Twin engine maritime
made out of deer skin or whatever it might have been.
Water's
probably boiling up, I'd
The
imagine.
wings of that have been, well, they've been extended and raked it. They've used the
Single
Single
cruiser. Yes, we do have a couple of flypasts still to come, folks.
Together, hybrid on the production line. Internal weapons bay located in the aft fuselage, wings fitted with
Deacon the Third.
air-to-surface missiles.
I think there is only one Vulcan that is,
under the forward fuselage.
maybe two, that's doing taxi.
The larger nose
Runs.
section at the snout end, Raytheon of the maritime surveillance radar.
Here it comes now.
Northrop Grumman, ESM suite, electronic warfare management system. It can carry up to 126 sonar buoys. It's deployed by our 3 reloadable 10-round launchers. Drop them out and are sniffing around underneath the ocean for sub-31 where they are. Just snooping.
Okay, here we
7
go.
operator stations inside. Mines, harpoon, anti-ship missiles, depth bombs.
This is what happens every time.
It can crack along, transit speed just shy of 500 knots. The stick action real turbo, 7 miles an hour. And here we come from the right to the left.
Come on,
From the
get
right.
into focus, get into focus, son. Come on, son. There you go. Look at the rate wingtip. That extended wingtip on it, man. Like a 777 raked wingtip.
There's the looking out for the F35, which is due in about 5 minutes from now.
know it's obvious, I know that it's been saying it, but please do make certain that when you don't want to drink, probably a bit late, you drink get some water.
Slightly less.
Have some splash some water on your shirt, let it dry out, but when it dries out, that will take some temperature out of you. Put handkerchiefs or something around your wrist and get them wet, that will also cool off, make the heat of evaporation. After all, the blood system goes around your body about once every minute, something like that. So
Yeah.
cooling your hands and your wrists.
November 7, Juliet Papa.
Will help reduce your core temperature.
I don't know if it's military or just someone's
Sugary drinks also
painted her up like that. It's pretty neat. See a few transits like that.
Those who are having a quick bag, having a cigarette, please don't. We don't want to set fire to the place. It's tinder dry, so be very careful. Don't just stub your bag out on the ground and let it smoulder. Really looking after it.
I think that you can credit people with a little bit more intelligence than that, mate. It's when you see someone firing up a barbecue, you've got to worry. Go on, smell my cheese. Oh dear. That on me flipping mine now and I. Alex Hayward is a returning member. Welcome back, Alex. Maybe we'll play Chariots of Fire at the beginning of every show, GP. With me running along the perimeter road at Heathrow. Stephen Miller saw the Vulcan's last air show. Brilliant and sad. Oh my goodness me, yes. I was the forward scene commander at a fast jet crash in 1998. French and Spanish pilots not good will stay with me forever, H saying. I was forward scene commander. Wow. Darren Emerton, perhaps the P8 will chuck some Ben and Jerry's have a Sonar Boy carousel.
F35 is on frequency. Now come on to the display frequency.
Kenji ATR is doing very, very well. It is doing very, very well, isn't it, ATR?
A little while yet.
A couple of aircraft on display here. Of course, we did a piece with ATR, and we're invited down for their anniversary. I think was that this year, Julie?
Great to see the F35 coming in.
The ATR gig that we did.
We just had a single fly past last time from him.
Yeah.
A bit more interesting, we should be coming in for a landing.
Hold on, Julie.
Almost to
the trickle was just before the stall, actually a thinner on radius turn. High G coming in, of course that washes the speed on big time.
Speed brake up there. We'll have to get up to Lakenheath and watch these boys again.
1.6 mark.
2 new squadrons at Lakenheath now, folks.
6 more points on the outside now for carriage and external weapons, extra fuel tanks.
Watch the air brake come down.
Seen him display or do any of the routine before here.
This is going to fly past with that dirty config. Get that gear up, flipping open it up, son.
May 05 was production commenced on the production airframes of the 35. And this is the United States Air Force Marine Corps and Navy. The F-35 will be secured by Australia, Canada, Denmark, Israel, England itself with the notes mark.
Please be quiet, mate, please be quiet. God, the last time I experienced that was the Harrier, man. I had no idea it was a B variant. That's RAF carrier. Oh my goodness me. Oh, what a treat, man. What a treat. Oh, that was insane.
Standard landing now. Goes downwind. Send somebody else to replace the mark. It'll be sent north south.
So does that double as an air brake? And I guess it does. It just stabilises it, does it? That's insane, man. You can see the two big scoops out the where the fan is. I think it's a vertical. I think there's not. Are they nozzled or is it nozzled? But see the big see the big hatches out the top there. See them? Where it pulls all the air in and thrusts it downwards. That's insane, man. Wow. That was insane. So this must be an RAF, probably off one of the carriers, maybe, I don't know. That will be 617 Squadron, won't it? I'd imagine this is a 617 Squadron jet.
Speed brake deployed. Pilot's head.
He's coming in for a VTOL landing.
Low speed approach, short. Direct hover landing.
Shut up, mate. Now, days gone by, there'd be a big round of applause, wouldn't there? If that was the Harrier. Look at the chopper. Look at the chopper. I need to be rude. I'm sorry if I appeared to be, but...
Yesterday here at Farnborough International, Generation Tempest took off here at Farnborough. The UK announced plans to fly a supersonic demonstrator on the 6th generation fighter within 5 years. Until closer combat aircraft technology linked with Italy and Japan.
Say it again.
Design and development and build of that demonstrator is already progressing well.
Did that all pick up, Julie? Did that F35 demo? It did everything?
Your mock-up is that.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be a jet blast. That's got to be a jet blast. The ultimate jet blast, man.
We have a gap for a number of helicopter movements in for some of our important guests for arrival and departures. I've got a notice of a helicopter departure and I believe a Chinook coming in also very shortly. So we're just
He's going to go around the back of the bike sheds, I think, this guy.
We'll continue the show with the helicopter from Turkey, the attack and the purpose. Black Eagles, I think, still stuck down the road with some thunderstorms down from the West Country.
Did we establish whether that was a 617 jet? It's a B variant, that's for sure. Oh. Just looking at the markings on the tail. Yeah, it does have a lightning bolt, doesn't it? And 617, I think, and it's got a roundel on the front as well. That is definitely, I think, 617, mate. Yeah. And the lightning bolt, strike hard, strike sure, was Bomber Command's oh, hello. Chinook. Oh, come and play, mate. Come over here and play. Don't just fly past. My favourite chopper, that is. Walloping great big rotors on her. Okay, then big, nice big right hand bank in a second, please. They're at Marham, those 617 jets, yeah. RAF Marham, of course 617, the Dambuster Squadron, originally Lancasters. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Is this on the programme? Is this on the programme? I don't care if it is or it isn't. We all love a Chinook, man. Here we go.
Dropping off and picking up some of the guests as this just load of control. And also expecting another helicopter to lob off, taking one of our guests away before we go to the Turkish two display items, the attack helicopter and the Purpose.
Can hear that F35 round the corner there, man. She's just out of sight. Yeah, so do I. That's fine. No. What are they doing with that Chinook? Yeah. Yeah, I've already been approached on that one. Helen Clapp, impressive and insane. Vicky Denning, lots of people mentioning they've never seen anything like it in their life. Well, the last time I saw anything like that was when I was a youngster, and it would have been a Hawker Harrier doing the crowd line shuffle. VTOL jet. Ewan Weech, I wonder if from hovering it could gear up and blast off. Yes, Ewan, most definitely. Designed to do that, to be able to operate from, mainly the reason for that is to in order to operate from aircraft carrier decks. Bill Kerman, yes indeed, based at RAF Marham. Anthony Cliff, believe the F-35 squadron is a joint RAF and Royal Navy squadron. Okay. Good point, Nat. Good point. Is that on Wikipedia or anything like that? But 617 Squadron based at RAF Marham. I'm sure it's pretty much a standalone squadron. But do they indeed operate from joint exercises with the Royal Navy? Yes, good point, Nat. Stephen Sibbons, sent with love from Norfolk. Kerry Davies, can't wait to play that back. Public static void. I'm ready to mute. Jack Rolls, that's the money shot. The US Marines had F35-B embedded on HMS Queen Elizabeth during her World Cruise Scott Shell crossing. Eric, hope it doesn't melt the runway like the Yak 141 in 1992. I wasn't aware of that. Interesting. Jeff and Mash, yes, they do act like vertical thrust reversers. Well, a directional nozzle, I believe. Whether it's a directional nozzle or whether it is a because if you look at the top, the upper profile of the F35-B, there's a huge fan, which I believe is used for both forward and reverse thrust. It's just that the nozzles below it either point towards the back or point down. I believe that might be it. Everyone loving it, man. Ain't no disco. A veto landing. Very nice screenshot. Stephen Miller, Kevin Graham, VCal Pam, loving it. Everybody loving it. 4,900 people tuned in to watch that F35-B. Doing something that a lot of people haven't experienced for many, many years. And some never before. Absolutely brilliant, Alison Baker. Cyberfly, love the spool down noise. Love all of that, mate. Love all of that. Steve Vincent, it really does make the Harrier look like 1960s technology. Ty Wiggins, that was weird. Rick Van, I mean, I understand what you're saying about the PA, the guy doing the commentary. Yes, of course, he is doing his job. It's just that there are some times during, when you're talking, that it's a good thing to not talk, if you know what I mean. I mean, it just it's just, we're here to hear the noise of the engines and so on and so forth. It's just good if somebody can appreciate that and sort of like, you know, try and interlink that with their patter, so to speak. You know, I'm not saying he's there's no real complaints per se. It's just that, I mean, personally, if I was the organisers here by now, you've had a couple of years to do it, I would have organised an app, in-ear app, sort of like commentary option, so that people save all the money on laying out all this PA system and expensive lineage and so on and so forth. Just have a simple Bluetooth style app, in-ear piece that you can pick up at with your tickets, that you can listen to the commentary via the app, and therefore, if you want to, you can hear the engines. If you want to hear the commentators, you can hear the commentators. Ben 2000, what engine is in the F-35? Is it the F-100? I don't know, actually. That's a good question. It is the Pratt & Whitney F135. from what I see here, the Pratt & Whitney F135 is an afterburning turbofan developed for the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II. Developed from the F119, by the looks of it. Variant used, it has two variants, a conventional takeoff and landing, CTOL, variant used on the F-35A and F-35C, and a two-cycle short takeoff vertical landing STOVL STOVL variant used in the F-35B that includes a forward lift fan. The first production engines were delivered in 2009. Vertical. Loving everybody loving that. Deacon the Third. You and Weech, we got it perfect. Shut down. So is that the British version of the American F-35? Yes, it will be shut down. Indeed it will be. It's Lockheed, right, isn't it? Lockheed that produce it. Yeah, Lockheed Martin is the F-35. American family single-seat jet. So yes, sir, it is indeed. It is. It's not. It is a British aircraft. I mean, it's all variants are the same, whether they're in America or in the UK. I don't think they come with different cabin configurations on the F-35. You know, would you like the leather seat, sir, or the reclining seat?
I'm just giving an update. We've got the Chinooks loaded up with half the passengers. Oh. And last call please, big bomb, last call please. Otherwise we'll shut off your baggage. So we might just stick it around a bit and have the attack helicopter display first. But we're just checking.
She's squatting down, look.
That's why we are wondering now. Of course the Hercules is also taxiing out from the north side.
Oh,
so that's why we're just pausing. Let's see how we're doing on time.
Oh, Hercus. I thought you said the Herc's taxiing out. Because there is a Hercules here, folks. There's a C-130 with the US Air Force parked up on the north side. Concorde 444, they are all 617 for the RAF. There we go. So loading up either personnel or bits and bobs, possibly spares for aircraft or whatever it might be. I think that's an RAF. Two aircraft sitting waiting for displays at the moment. I think they may be waiting for this Chinook to finish loading up, and then someone's standing at the front door waiting for it to go. As soon as she squats up on her, lifts up her back feet. It's obviously a hydraulically operated system that lowers the aircraft down so that she can maximise the loading ramp capabilities, I'm guessing. It's quite an impressive ATAK, I think it is, isn't it? This helicopter coming out, not this one that you're looking at, of course that's the Chinook. Merlin flight, the Chinook validated for display last week, is due. Well, there is another Chinook parked up down in the static area where the Americans are, or is it going to be the usual RAF display that which we're akin to? EGPX had a couple of these bad boys over the house yesterday. Yeah, it's great, man. I mean, they do operate also. At Aldershot, not far from me. Lining up. Getting yourself in position.
Well, keep an eye out on the runway. Just getting updates about traffic. Whether the attack helicopter is going to.
Big shout out to Dan Lindbergh. And a big shout out to the two chaps who came over to me earlier on from visiting from Holland. And his dad said, here's my son, he's your biggest fan in Holland. So big shout out to you two. Lovely couple of fellas came over and said hello to me earlier on today. Bless them. N2000 Chinook is a troop carrier, my friend. As well as up to a certain amount of freight it can carry. Kind of used to seeing them push stuff out the back and parachute it down into remote areas. Also for humanitarian relief as well, that kind of thing.
Helicopter. It's a menacing aircraft. It does look a bit evil when it's in the sky. As far as I know, the Black Eagles are still...
Eric's saying, is that a US Army CH-47? Could possibly be, you know, because they're normally grey, the RAF models, aren't they?
Well, you love it when a good plan comes together.
I think they are waiting for that Chinook to... There's some delegates' vehicles. I think we are waiting for that aircraft to get out of Dodge. Actually, yes, pick up and drop off guests. Possibly.
There's confirmation the Chinook now is fully loaded, so we're going to pause, let the Chinook go. So the Chinook's still got a taxi out, so that will be our departure. Then they're going back into the show with the attack helicopter and the Airbus.
I called it the Herkules because it's, isn't it Turkish, the Herkules, I believe. Professor Mark Taylor, that Chinook ZD981 dates from 1980. So. Honestly, really? So. Farnborough. Bits and Pieces UK, yeah, that's the RAF display with the big orange hand waving out the back that we're used to seeing. And that whole thing comes with their own, whether it's an actual live broadcaster from their team, a commentator, or whether it's done using a USB stick or not, I don't know. Probably be a little bit difficult to
Right, we've had another change of hands. We're now going to go to the attack helicopter. The Chinook is now going to delay until after that. Because if they can get themselves loaded in time, well, that's us grab it back to the air show.
This is quite an impressive little display. Members as well. Here we go.
This helicopter optimised the high performance requirements of hard geographical environment. Reconnaissance, armed escort, deep strike, physical transport, urban warfare.
Operator at the back. Wisdom, weapons systems operator at the front. Move the guns back.
Cannon the front, a 20mm 3-barrel and 500 rounds of ammunition. In the south. The gunner sits at the front, elevated into the back. Quite front. Really been optimised for maximum survivability and safety.
Say right there.
Advanced electronic warfare. Processing, radar warning, receiver, radar, I think the red jamming capability. This is from Turkish Aerospace.
Sounds like Charlie purring.
Basically, agility. A Good visibility for both of the crews. Fuel for its flight control systems and the mechanical backup. The other position also has duplicated flight control, so you can do some work with those actions. Let the pilot have a snooze.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know, that's how far out you have to go to see how far it is off the ground, and then you just can't see nothing, anything.
Which also contains opposite Farnborough Place.
Not get close to the action. So you can't see anything.
We're on the reasonable speed, 152 knots in the sort of lifting takeoff weight, so all the kit, 500 around now, all at 152 knots. Got a cracking weight of time.
Okay, Chinook's ready to go. Standing up on her legs now.
Goes down to the helicopter west parking bay.
The AIRBUS is moving into position.
So lined up on the right side.
Pete Richardson, does anyone know if the UK still holds the record for helicopters? Top speed is that?
Clear off from the southwest.
Speed record for a helicopter. Would it? Surely it would be manufacturer, not country. Or it's got to be the Apache, innit? Surely the Apache, or but mind you, some of these fellas over here can fly pretty fast and all, can't they? Some of the international helicopter race. Possibly. Welcome to the international helicopter races, live from Norwich. Okay, here comes the AIRBUS. That's what I'm going to call it from now on anyway. Little trainer aircraft. Set up like a jet fighter inside that flight deck apparently, inside the cockpit. Twin-seater. See, yesterday it also had a head-up display as well. Is he going to go out and do a circuit and let this Chinook get on his way, or is he going to do his display and then let's just see what happens. Yeah, it's all a bit of banter with the old commentator, by the way, folks. Don't take it to heart. It's all banter. Met him earlier. He's a lovely fella. Him and his band of merry men, sitting up there in their Robin Hood outfits. Lynx holds the record. What about Shaw? Lynx holds the record. Okay, so is Lynx a? Oh, okay. Sikorsky broke it apparently. Well, that's definitely not a British company, is it? Sikorsky. I understand Lynx being the. David Williams, F35 Block 4 capabilities. EDC Metalman, welcome back, EDC. Darren Emerton, yes, I did hear that the commentator is indeed a 747 pilot, ex-747 pilot, probably with the British Airways, I'd imagine. So, you know, if anyone knows his stuff, it's him. Far more than what I know, that's for sure. Oh, I think we've got a dive bomber in our midst.
This is the next generation basic trainer, primarily designed for the training of instrument flight, navigation and formation flight. Also has today operating the roles of forward control, close air support, arm reconnaissance, forward air control, intercept and escort duties. Really? Halfway around the loop, on the way down, check on the 45 degrees, rolling, halfway down, half Cuban, pull up to the vertical, up, along the nearest burning blue, climbing up, speed reducing, keep going, nose up, spoke off, wait, watch the rudder, good control off the rudder in a second, round you go, gravity now winning, accelerating down towards the ground, smoke back up. First aviator, versus purpose. Two models are being offered, the A model based on trademark. That's been certified to the AIRBUS standard, making it truly a global potential selling aircraft. The B is the advanced model. That's got slapped in the latest avionics, including head-up display, multi-function display, mission computer. Now the cockpit has been designed to mimic the latest frontline fighter aircraft, making it an ideal platform. Now that visibility you probably saw from the cockpit is excellent. Folding. Roll high, 5 away, up on 45. Fitting with Martin Baker ejection seats with 0-0 capability, i.e. no forward speed, no altitude, lazy way of getting out of the aeroplane. PT6 turboprop, very successful PT6 turboprop for the calendar. 1600 short, sharp horsepower. Surface ceiling 35,000 feet. That's still very small up there, this aircraft, 35,000 feet. It's stressed to +7 and -3.5 G. Gear down, cooling downwind to land, maximum cruise speed over 300 knots, and right back. The stall in the landing configuration is just 77 knots, so approach speed is going to be about 90 knots, something like that. Got endurance of 4 hours, 15 minutes, I haven't.
Fair play to you, mate.
The countries of Nigeria, Libya, sorry, Niger and Libya.
It's quite funny, isn't it?
Highly manoeuvrable. Helicopter turns final. Behind each other.
Yeah, it does have a very it does have a very jet fighter style front end, doesn't it?
Now it's time to hand the airfield back to Farnborough, so that's the end of the display for today. Thank you for coming along. Take a careful, gentle drive home. It's a nice cold drink when you get back home. I shall. So take care. My name is Stratton and I wish you a very good evening.
He's selling ice creams out of there, is he? Rab H, awesome show pilot. Bootle had nice little trainer it is, isn't it? Matt Cat Lady, there was a wave. Did we get a wave? Simon Knock. Stuart Watson, very funny. Jeanette Haynes looks pretty from the front. Melody, cute little thing. Soul Power, I think that is. Zippy little bug. Stuart Watson, interesting how the horizontal stabiliser is aft of the vertical stabiliser. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. However, I mean, most jets are do have that configuration, and they obviously not quite as exaggerated as that may be. Nice slow run past us, please, sir, or madam. Here we go. Passes. Well, what can we say, folks? Looks like everybody enjoyed themselves anyway. Would I be right, Jilly, in saying less technical issues today than yesterday? I know I look like an idiot, but who cares? Yeah. Yes, it is, yes. It's over. Yeah, I don't think we've got the Black Hawks inbound today. The Black Eagles. Black Eagles, sorry. Great commentary, folks. Great chat amongst you guys. 390, no, or what is it, KC 390, is it? Yes, yeah, the twin engine. Well, she's nowhere near being wheeled out or anything, and our commentary team are making their way down the steps now, so I think we're off. That's it. He's been bowled, they're all out. Stuart Watson, much cleaner overall, outstanding effort. It is literally, it is down to what we get, folks. It is literally a lottery as to the reception and the glitches and the ins and outs that we get. It is literally down to what's happening around us. Of course, we've got a massive, great big production team right next to us as well. So that's that can be part of the issue that we bless you that we sometimes come up against. But thank you, Eric. He was able to watch the show on YouTube and out of his window, Eric saying he lives in Farnborough. Pete Richardson, thank you everybody. Thank you so much. For far too many people to read out here. Tomorrow we are going to be back, folks, for the final, I believe, the departure of the 777X. She's going to be going out. And you do learn things. You do learn things. Don't get me wrong. I mean, our commentator very interestingly mentioning that the 777X is the family, and then the designated 9 and the 8 depends on which aircraft. A bit like the 777-200 and the 300 variants that are currently flying as well. So we'll call it the 777X, as in the variant, or should I say, sorry, the family of the new 777, and whether it's the 779 or the 8. I don't think there are any 800s in production at this point in time. Ben Brown, another good day for Boeing. Around 100 more orders and common commitments today. Airbus had an order from Delta for 12 A220-300 Embraer, and ATR got a couple of deals as well. Quite a busy day at Farnborough. Thank you, Ben. Darren Emerton. We had a great show. Walk around with ETA on the A350 earlier on. Folks may want to rewind and watch that, which came out pretty well. Couple of little glitches again, as it is always the case. I would have liked to have done the same thing with the Boeing jet, but I think it's probably a lot more sensitive on board that aircraft. Haven't seen many people wandering in and out of that aircraft with cameras, and understandably so, because there's probably quite a lot of sensitive equipment. Big deputy dog ears. Quite a lot of sensitive equipment, of course, on board that Boeing 777. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a walk around the 777-300, the special Qatar 25th anniversary jet, which we caught coming in earlier on in the week. Maybe we'll go and have a little walk around that, because they'll be a lot more acceptable and welcoming, I'd imagine, over there, especially as we've got a good relationship with Qatar as well. Thank you, folks. F35-B, the star of the show, Boot will add, yeah, we've got to get back and cut that into a jet class. It won't take very much to do, I can assure you. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Thank you to 617 Squadron for that amazing display. It was one of the things that I was hoping would happen, and I did actually mention that we might get that hover past, and we got it, and thank you so much to 617 Squadron and the F35-B pilot as well. Thank you, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Look after yourselves around about the same time tomorrow, but look out on your devices, because it might be that we will be a little bit earlier just to catch. Oh, tomorrow as well, of course, we have the Embraer walk through as well, through their pavilion, looking at some of the new stuff that Embraer have planned, and then we'll be going and having a close look at the E195 jet as well, and talking to some tech bods on that one as well, hopefully. But as well as that, obviously we'll try and get over to the 777 as well, and the Dreamliner is parked up right next to it as well, so don't see any reason. I'm going to quickly nip over there now and see if I can hook up with my man there, the contact that we had, to see if we can get inside the fence line there and film that beautiful jet. But look after yourselves, stay cool. Hopefully it's going to get a bit cooler here in the UK from tomorrow onwards. We do have some thunderstorms planned, I believe, from what I'm hearing, and we'll also see if we can't get inside the one of those Gulfstream jets over there as well, and see how the other half live, literally. In the meantime, folks, look after yourselves, stay cool, stay hydrated, and look after yourselves. Thank you, Jilly, for looking after everything as well, of course, and holding her breath for probably the longest time that she's ever held her breath for, with these air displays, because you just don't know what's going to happen. But and that's how dedicated we are to bringing you as close to the action and uncluttered, or glitch free, should I say. Look after yourselves, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye. Okay, GP. Yeah.